Path of Exile is ruining Diablo 4 for me. Uh-oh.
I've got a problem. I'm an unwashed, disheveled mess. My house needs to be cleaned.
This is where
I've ate nothing but fast food for, well, let's be honest, like 3 years. But let's just say the last week.
33 years.
In Diablo 4, my hardcore character is level 74, and I have never purchased anything at all in their microtransaction shop. Meanwhile, in Path of Exile, I am level 81, and I have purchased the $500 supporter pack. Let's be honest, I have a bit of a problem, and my problem is there's nothing left to buy at a higher tier. Diablo 4 is currently losing the battle for my attention to a 10-year-old game. And for once, I can say that, and it's not even RuneScape I'm talking
Yep, there it is.
about. You might think this is going to be a Diablo 4 bad video, but it's actually kind of the opposite. I mean, there might be a little bit of, like, we could use some more content, sure, but I've already talked about that in a million games. Or a million videos. This video is actually about one thing. Path of Exile is so ridiculously fucking good that it's ruining Diablo 4 for me, because everything I want in Diablo 4 already exists in the game, and that game is Path of Exile. I've been live streaming the game every day, and I'll have that in the pinned comment in the description. But every day, I think this is going to be my last day live streaming this game. But then I'll discover some new major mechanic, some new in-game piece of content, something new that's just truly really awesome. And I'm like, okay, well, let me just see what that's about. And I'm going to try to explain.
Well, he's going to be doing that for like a month, man. Like, it's just like, think about all the different like farming strategies, like delve. Somebody told me the other day did Searing Exarch for the first time. Like, oh my god, there's a lot to do. Like Alva temples, double corrupting. Oh man. Will never end. Yeah, Sanctum now. Like, I haven't done that even.
Some of those mechanics to you now. Before you think I'm just a giant show for the game, this is not sponsored. Path of Exile did not sponsor this video in any way.
PoE's got plenty of fucking problems. There's tons of stupid shit about PoE. It's not like it's a perfect game, but damn, there's at least something to do in it.
In fact, it should be a reverse sponsorship or whatever you guys want to call it, because very often people are telling me that I have to be promoting Diablo 4 or else my channel is going to die.
There it is.
Diablo 4 is literally in the name of the channel, and I'm out here, unfortunately, praising its competitor because it's kind of just that good. Let's start with stash tabs. There's currency stash tabs for all the different currencies. You can craft directly within the stash tabs. All of the different maps, because yes, maps in this game are basically
nice. Yeah, so like, I know this might be crazy for like Diablo players, but like, so like there's like 16 tiers of maps, and then there is like bonus maps too that have like certain types of monsters, and then there's like unique maps that have totally different layouts, right? And so like, if you're a Diablo player, like imagine if like one tier of maps, like tier 7 maps, those are all the Diablo maps. That's it, it's done. That's the whole thing. But like in PoE, there's like 16 of those tiers.
Mere dungeons that you decide how they work. You can craft your own map with your own specifications, rare maps, common maps, unique maps with all kinds of different modifiers on them. And speaking of maps, there's actually a whole section of maps called the Atlas, which is basically another skill tree that allows you to modify the maps further to have the exact encounters.
Oh, bro, he's got to get this. Oh, man. Like, I think, is that... I think this is the... which one is it? That's the gateway? Is it farther over?
You want, and all of this might actually seem extremely complicated.
That's the
and
gateway,
as we dive more into why
Blight,
Path of Exile is sort of ruining Diablo for me, yes,
Blood
it is
Harvest,
complicated, but here's the great thing about it. It's not overwhelmingly complicated unless when you're just looking at it for the first time, you decide to quit. In my previous video, I talked about the graph.
Well, again, if you only have 50 hours to play, Diablo will probably be a better experience for you. But if you have 500 hours to play, Path of Exile will probably be a better experience for you.
About how people play like 2 minutes and then instantly quit the game. If you only look at the next step in front of yourself in this game, and you don't purposely try to know everything in the game, you just try to know the next thing, you actually don't get that overwhelming feeling. So try to stay with me while I explain this.
Yeah.
So instead of nightmare dungeons, you're basically crafting your own nightmare dungeon, and each version of the Nightmare Dungeon
Well,
has
these
its
are
own
passive Nightmare Dungeon effects.
mini game. For instance, I like the mini game that allows me to do a tower defense
Wrong
mode.
opinion. Blight sucks.
So I'm doing that. But they have
The
like
only
a
good thing about Blight is you can AFK.
Batman detective sort of mini game. They have a monster, a build your own Frankenstein type of mini game. They have essentially these versions of what are Nightmare Dungeons in this game that allow you to make them any way you want, which is just an astounding way of doing the late game mapping. To give you one more example, for instance, I don't do very much damage, but I'm extremely tanky. So I took the perk that makes it when I'm doing the maps, again, maps are basically dungeons. When I'm doing the maps, the monsters deal more damage, but they have less life. So it's an exchange that's good for me, because I'm tanky, but I don't do a lot of damage. You also have their version of player-owned housing in this game. It's called a hideout that, guess what? You can fully optimize however you want. I have my own map station, which is basically the Nightmare Dungeon teleporter I can go to. I have my own crafting station. I have place I can buy and sell all of the goods I want. I can hit edit right here and go and put down all of the different vendors. I
have had the same hideout ever since they added hideouts to the game. And every time they add a new NPC, I just put them in the corner. I remember whenever they added Cassia, I was like, okay, I'll just put that bitch in the corner. June, put her in the... I actually put June in another room. I didn't like him. I just put him in the other room.
All of my different cosmetics if I want it to look like whatever I want. And even if I don't really like this place that much, there is a ton of different hideouts I could actually change it to make it look completely different depending upon the environment I want. And these hideouts I can either purchase from microtransactions, which I have, or you can actually find these. You see how this says found in map, found in Act 2, found in Act 5. A lot of these you just play the game and you discover them, and now they are unlocked forever for you. I just wanted to show you how cool this crafting is if someone hasn't seen it before. Here's an unidentified rare chest plate, okay? So I can identify it and says, oh, it's got fire resistance, you know, physical damage reduction, armor, and strength, for instance. But let's say I didn't like this, and you'll notice that there's sockets, which are basically where you put your skills. And it seems like it's complicated.
Oh, bro, he doesn't have the implicits? Oh, look at that. He's got like, that's got to be like a T1 life roll plus an armor and life roll as well. Oh, it's actually pretty good.
But you just have to trust me, it's really not that bad once you get into it. So you put your chest plate here, and let's say I decide I like this chest plate base, but I don't really necessarily like all of the stats on it. You can scour it, which now makes it a common item again, and now I just have the piece back, okay? Then you can put quality on it, which improves the overall quality of it. So now it
improves the chances of it receiving a good attribute, I believe.
Plus 20%, which is the maximum.
Then
I could roll it rare if I wanted to see, oh, I got a good rare or a bad rare. If I didn't like the rare I got, now I can re-roll.
Wait. I wanna...
this rare again in order to try to get a rare one I like. Now I get a rare piece that I really like. Let's say 31 code resistance, okay? But I didn't actually get on that code resistance. I didn't get other modifiers for magic, so now I can add additional modifiers onto it. So it has armor and code resistance, which are both quite good. Then let's say, wow, now I have a good rare item, but I want to upgrade it to, or a magic item, I want to upgrade it to rare. God damn it! It is a actual rare item. It goes from blue to yellow. So let's say I like that, but then I want my own stat on it, so I can take it to the crafting bench, and I can put, you know what, I think I'm going to put maximum life on this guy. So I was able to craft a piece of gear that feels amazing, that basically has everything I want on it. And if it doesn't have the ability for me to actually have the colored skills that I want, because skills match a color socket, I can go in here and I can reforge the number of sockets. I can reforge the color of the socket.
What if you just got a 6-link?
Basically what I'm trying to explain to you, it's probably overwhelming if you are a Diablo person and don't understand what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say to you is Path of Exile has everything that I wanted out of Diablo 4, which is easy to search stash, tons of repeatable in-game content, and I can customize.
It's like Diablo 4 already has the Season 2 patch. Or sorry, Path of Exile already has the Diablo 4 Season 2 patch active right now.
It the way I want. It's got items that allow me to make an item exactly like I wanted with an intuitive crafting system, and you get the currencies for
intuitive. I think that, ooh, I don't know. I mean, fracture crafting, beast crafting, unveil crafting. I think intuitive, fossil crafting. Oh, but you know, it's good. Item level brackets, yeah. Is your item level 86? So it's not. Oh, so you're a loser then.
Crafting from just playing the end game, so you can actually sort of build your own item. Speaking of items, the itemization in the game is literally insane. The depth of which you can have things is absolutely nutty in this game. Like if I go and look at this, plus 1% increased attack damage per 450 armor. So I'm just stacking as much armor as I can get on all my pieces and to increase my attack damage. And that just happens to be one of the things that one of the items do. But there's like 1,000 unique items. I think it's actually 850 unique items are in the game. And so there's all kinds of
850 unique items in the game. 845 of them are shit.
different ways you can build this. It might seem overwhelming because it's sort of is.
Right. Only about 800.
But in an ARPG where what you want is the capability to build unique builds, have styles that you feel attached to, or the ability to have an in-game that is so in-depth that you can put hours into it, you need the ability for it to feel overwhelming. It feels overwhelming because there's a lot to do. And you know what you want in a game? A lot to do.
Yeah.
Even the healing potions
and also like they've a lot of people like Darth Microtransaction didn't play like the leagues probably a few before this. I forgot what the big like Atlas rework league was. I don't remember. I think it was like Arc Nemesis or maybe the one before that. Either way, I remember like whenever you would come back, like there used to be even more to do in the game, and people were tired of it. They were like, well, I don't want to get all the Atlas stones. I don't want to get all the Conqueror stones. I don't want to have to do all these like septums and everything, right? And then PoE improved it. And they made it way better. Like, I personally think that the Atlas talent tree is amazing. I do. I think it's absolutely fucking amazing. There are like small little things that I don't like. I know this might upset some people, but I'm actually not a fan of having to talent into doing the Uber bosses. I'm not a fan of that. I wish that the acquisition method was different, but overall, it's fucking incredible. It is absolutely fucking incredible.
Game have their own abilities. You can modify your healing potions to have different bonuses. For instance, my healing potion stops me from burning, removes ignite. It also stops me from bleeding and removes corrupted blood, which are sort of the same things. My cat in the background...
The difference between corrupted blood and bleeding is that you have to get two different things to remove it. That's the difference. It's basically about it.
Lets me know when she wants to go outside. Fine, I'm coming. I'm sorry I haven't made the video on Diablo in like 3 days. It's because this game has continually been sucking me in. The more I play this game, the more I uncover. And every time I uncover something, there's another thing telling me, well, did you try this yet? And most of the time the answer to that is no, I haven't tried this yet.
I skip one league in PoE, and I come back to the game, and it's like I haven't played the game before. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is Expedition? Like, oh my god. So you have to talk to these guys, and like, so that you have to buy things from them, but then sometimes they don't want to take the price. So it's like, okay, you have to like buy them, and then oh fuck, right? Yeah, it's a lot.
Which is an amazing thing for a game like this because there's so much content to absorb. I could play this for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
So if you've been wondering where I've been the last few days and why I haven't uploaded, it's because I've been playing Path of Exile, a 10-year-old ARPG that is actually just a phenomenal game. I mean, I understand why people were talking.
Somebody said, I don't understand betrayal. So I always make the right choice in betrayal. And what I mean by that is that whenever I have to click which one to do, I click the one on the right. There, I just solved it for you. I've been doing that for 3 years.
talking about this, and I wanted to make a video shilling for the game for a moment because I think you might actually enjoy it. If you've played Diablo 4, you're waiting for Season 2 because you're bored, you're like me, you might actually end up having a higher level character in Path of Exile by the time Season 2 comes out than your Diablo 4 character, because you might get sucked in just as bad as I did. To put it simply, the more you know about Path of Exile, the more you realize you don't know, which means there's more content to do, which means the game is good. AKA the game continues to get better. And every time I think
I do think that there is a point where having too much content in the game makes it overwhelming, but PoE realized that and they scaled it back.
Last day, I'm going to go back to Diablo 4. I'm going to finish my 100 grind, start making D4 videos again. I run into something in Path of Exile while I'm live streaming. I'm like, wow, this is a whole new boss. This is a whole new area. This is a whole new minigame. And I find myself going, okay, one more day. I'll do one more day, and then surely this will be the last day I play. If you want to see if today is the one more day or if I'm done after today, come on by the live stream, twitch.tv/DarthMicrotransaction. You can find it below and see what the game looks like for yourself. You might actually quite enjoy it.
I think it's a great game. Like, I would absolutely recommend PoE. I've said it 50 fucking times. I'll say it 50 more fucking times. It is a great game. I'm glad he's playing it. Thank God. Obviously, look at this, 288,000 people. It's got a massive community. People absolutely love this game. I will say, though, there are people that go in blind and they enjoy it. My advice is to look at a build guide and then deviate and then learn from why the deviation was either a good or a bad idea. But you should go in there and make your own decision and play what you want. I think PoE is an incredible game. I'm super excited about PoE 2. Everything that I've seen about PoE 2 makes me more excited. Why are you not playing it? I'm not playing Diablo either. The reason I haven't played it is actually very simple. I've been playing other things. If I didn't have any other responsibilities, my character would probably be level 96 right now. And it's probably never going to get to 97, realistically. But, even though I'll keep playing.